I should have written my speech and just told you funny tech support stories I've had over the last 15 years. I've had people, when asked what version of Windows do you run, they said Anderson. My dad was on support. Sorry, Dad. With Dell, and when they asked what's on your desktop, he had that just pissed off face and said, stapler, paper clips. Yeah, that's your desktop. I better stop. Okay. First of all, I want to say congrats, and it's so fun to hear the stories of Dunham's and Cliff Keen, and I know enough about Shampro. I'm excited to hear that. These are companies I've known of. The odds of you knowing who Order My Gear is are slim, but I've known of y'all for a long time and watched you for a long time. And so it's such an honor to share the stage with y'all. Obviously, I want to thank the committee and NSGA. Thank you, Julie and Haley, for a great event and putting up with, dealing with all of us, but especially me. The honor means a lot coming from an SGA. It also means a ton knowing the names on that committee. I'm actually glad there were just owners and manufacturing people on that committee, because I talked to the great Brian Pepper the other night, and he said, I don't know why you're getting inducted. You just created more hassles for me. And he was a sales rep and a sales manager, so I'm just glad there weren't any actual reps on that committee. I also want to thank my wife, Emily. She's been through the ups and downs. I've been a trooper. I remember, felt like things were going really good in 2008, and she was supportive, and at one point, it's like, hey, this is great, but when do people start paying us? Wasn't real great at AR, still not real great at AR, but finally, they started paying us. Also, big thanks to my dad, Ron, endearingly referred to as Old Ron, O-L-E. He's also O-L-D, but the way you built your business, the man you were, sure helped pave the way. No, I'm really proud of you. Grateful for you. So when I think about tonight, I honestly feel a lot like Michael Block. And I don't know if any of y'all followed the PGA Championship this last weekend, but he was one of 20 teaching pros that qualified to play in the PGA Championship. And he did pretty well, finished in the top 15. And he did a few interviews, and he was just a guy that was just happy to be there. Couldn't believe it was happening. He was paired with Rory at the final 2 days. He even hit a hole-in-one on 15 or 16 in the final pairing. And when they interview him, he's just like, this everything's downhill from here. I hope that's not true, but I can identify with how he felt, and I think a big reason is, he made friends with Rory. He made friends with Brooks Koepka, who ended up winning. And I feel like in the last 15 years, I've been able to sort of play with the legends that Michael got to play with. People like, Brett Johnson and Todd Levine and Rochelle Manning from Sanmar. People that are legends. Larry Alsan. What a special thing for you to take a break. Picture with me with that plaque. But I'm just happy to be here. When he hit that hole-in-one, he didn't know it went in, and Rory gave him a hug. And he was like, man, why is Rory hugging me for hitting it on green? But when you see his emotion or just kind of the, how he felt. They showed a clip of his hometown club. He's a teaching pro. Like in one interview, he's like, "Hey, I hit like a bucket of balls a week. That's it. That's how much I practice." And they showed a shot of that club when he hit a hole in one. Man, they just went crazy. And so I just identify with that tonight. And I feel so fortunate to be able to, the last 15 years, to get to know the people that I have been able to work with and to become friends with in the team sporting goods side of the business. I also want to say thanks to this table here. James Skidmore, Jake Kindernick, Tiffany Hartman, Darby Unruh, Melanie Tibbs, David Butterfield, Ryan Weekus. You were all there in the early days of Order My Gear. And these are the kind of people that you want to go to dinner with, you want to have beers with, you want to work with, and you want to be friends with. And then when you are, you're just grateful. It is, I'm a little bit sad, so I apologize, but just to let you know. It's a little cliche to talk about the journey over the destination, but I think we proved that's true. And we had a fun ride, and it means so much that y'all made the effort to be here. And I know Order My Gear would not be what it is today, where it is today, without people sitting at that table. I also want to thank Matt Kaplan and Brittany Muller and the current OMG crew. I'm sure I was a pill to deal with at times. Didn't mean to be. Doesn't mean I wouldn't. But I do want to say thanks, and I'm proud of the current Order My Gear team. I think at the end of the day, we just all want somebody to cheer for us. And it's an incredible honor tonight, and it means so much. But it's not the accomplishment that means a lot. It's not the blue, it's not the plaque, it's not the trophy or whatever. It's not the blue, additional ribbon on my name tag. It's that all feels fine and good. But what really feels good is being cheered on by my friends and colleagues. And to be honest, as an adult, it's hard to accept. Kids, when you delight in them and when you cheer for them, they smile. But we lose that as adults. And sometimes we come up with reasons you shouldn't cheer when people are trying to cheer. And so I'm grateful that people in this room and people on the team side of the sporting goods industry have cheered for me. Feels weird to say as a 47-year-old man, but it feels good. And it's not just any people. It's people that you look up to, it's people that you value, people that you respect. And when those kind of people support you, it means the world. It feels good, not just in the head, but in the soul. And I'm so grateful to feel that in the soul. So the lesson for me is this. If the most meaningful thing for me, the plaque means a ton. I'm not minimizing that, but it means a ton coming from the people it came from. And so if being cheered on, or cheered for, or cheered on means the world, how can we do that? We don't need a big event to cheer someone on. We can do that every day. And I think the way we do it in a genuine way is we find what's beautiful in others, and we call it beautiful. We all have weaknesses, we all have downsides, we all have reasons that people should not cheer us on. But we also have beauty. And when that beauty is recognized and communicated, it changes people. And we have the power to change people. So I encourage you to do that. Thanks.